slash a bash. Slash a bash. Slash a bash.
Let's do this, bitch. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Slasher Bash, the podcast. If you're here, you know that we've been talking about the Scream franchise, and tonight we're talking about Scream 2. I'm your host, Madison, here with my co-host, Ben. Say what's up, Ben.
What's up, everybody? You know what's interesting about Scream?
What?
They don't have subtitles.
They don't?
It's just Scream 2. And then it's Scream 3, and then it's Scream 4, and then it's Scream with a 5.
Like taglines?
There's no like Halloween H2O. Like there's no subtitle to the movie. You know?
When you said subtitles, I was thinking closed captions, and I was like,
oh,
what?
no, they have subtitles for those hard of hearing.
Yes.
But
I like that, though, because some of the names are like so fucking dumb. Like
True.
So-and-so's Revenge and
True.
Curse of So-and-so, and they're cheesy as shit.
But sometimes they're awesome. Like what's your favorite subtitle to a movie? Sequel.
Halloween, Season of the Witch.
That's good. But I remember the movie not being good, though.
I didn't know this until recently, but did you know that when he wrote Halloween and sold the story, every season or every movie was supposed to be a different story completely? But Michael Myers was such a hit as a killer that then Halloween got turned into a franchise about him instead of an anthology as intended. But Season of the Witch was the one where they tried to veer out of that, and they were like, nope, didn't work.
It's like that one episode of Stranger Things where like she's like in the city with a bunch of like X-Men types for no reason.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, we should go back to Michael Myers.
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
actually, the
work.
Halloween title now makes more sense to me in a way. Because like every Halloween, maybe a new killer is out.
Exactly. It was all supposed to be anthology stories centered around different Halloween
cool.
stories. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I had no idea till recently. I don't even remember where I learned this all, but I also learned that it was in the creator's contract that you can't kill Michael Myers. And they didn't realize that till Jamie Lee came back for one of them and was like, okay, but like I get to kill Michael in this one. They were like, yep, we've got this great scene, blah, 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 blah. And then they get in and she signs a contract and they're filming. And they were like, Jamie, we've got bad news. Michael can't die.
Well, they killed him in H2O only to discover in the next one that he like moved his head into his shirt in some stupid ass thing. You remember that? Remember Halloween Resurrection? Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You can't kill Michael Myers. He's always coming back.
Same with Jason and Freddy Krueger, I guess. Yeah, I think my favorite subtitle or one of my favorite ones is probably I don't even remember now. What was the one? The Friday the 13th, the third one was called like Dream something? Like Dream Warriors. Yeah. I mean, it's so dumb that I love it. Also, Temple of Doom is great. Like a great name. Movie's not great, but name is great. Anyway,
I'll give you that.
We're here to talk about Scream 2, no subtitles. We both just watched it.
Good as always.
What do you like? You mentioned last week that like
you changed my mind about this movie.
This must have been like a long time ago when we had this conversation, because I don't remember having this conversation. But what did you think about this movie beforehand, and what do you think about it now, having just watched it?
Okay, so when I first saw this movie, I didn't like it. And the reason why is because it was like, the first one, it's really fun. And we like talked last time about how it's not scary. Like there's tension, but it's not scary. This one was scary, for me anyways. It didn't have the same, like there are like a couple lines that were funny, but it didn't balance humor and slasher. Like this was just like pure slasher to me.
Yeah.
And so at the time it was so different from the first that I was like, I do not like this at all. But like every time I rewatch, so you and I talked about it and you were like, it's the best sequel. And I was like, what do you mean it's the best sequel? It's like my least favorite Scream film ever. And we had a probably drunken debate. It wasn't heated, but I'm sure it was
I just
intense.
always sound heated because I'm from the East Coast, I've been told. And this is how East Coast people talk, apparently, passionately.
You kind of have that like New York, like, what do you mean?
I never even exactly, but I never even lived in New York. What do you mean? I never lived there. See?
Yeah, but you got that for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like you and I discussed it a lot, and it's interesting going back because it's like, okay, so it's set up like the whole speech about like Randy gives the whole talk in film class about how sequels are inherently worse than the predecessor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but then he says you make a remake to outdo the original or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as a sequel in comparison to like any other franchise, this film actually did a really fucking good job. Is it the first one? No. Nothing will ever be the first one, but it actually is a really good sequel. The dialogue is still incredible. Yeah. The story's great. The characters have great arcs, I think. The commentary on like the media and how we're, so like, let's just get into like the opening scene, right? Like, yeah. But you had made a comment to me that you like, I don't know that you said you hate the opening scene, but you were like.
The what scene?
The opening scene.
This opening scene. Okay, well, having just rewatched it, I have different thoughts now. So,
because I don't like it.
You don't like it, okay.
But I think it does a really solid job of like setting up the commentary of this movie is about how we use victims and violence for entertainment.
Hell yeah.
And that's why it's set in a theater.
Hell yeah. I have the exact same fucking note in my notes right here. Like,
I think
the note continuing the idea of media profiting off of real tragedy and violence.
Yeah. When I rewatched it today, I was like, God, this movie actually holds up so well now. Like it's like perfect for like the true crime podcast era where everybody's
the documentary
like,
era.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Like it's so relevant right now.
Totally. I think that these it's so funny in the world of social media and streamers and people commentating on everything. We live in the era of just like commentating on things like reaction videos and like people watching the news and then giving their opinion on it in real time. Like it's a different sort of layer of what it was back then in the 90s of like the 24 media cycle and capitalizing on like tragedy to make money. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the exact same thing today even, but it's just like there's a different medium of profiting off of that. It's like a different
and it's so much worse
channel.
And it's so much weirder. Like reaction videos are so fucking weird to me when someone's playing the side by side and they're just like making faces and like those are so
those are really weird. If they have nothing
stupid.
To say and they're just like giving faces, I can't even watch that shit.
I hate those. They're so insane. Cringy. I cannot stand them.
I know. But I agree. Like you're right. It's like so relevant to today. And also the thing that's relevant about today too is I think like this idea of like franchising everything. And I think it's what's interesting about, and this is a little bit of a kind of a sidestep, but it's still in the opening scene. Is like they're going to see Stab, right? The Scream, the movie within a movie based on the first movie.
Yep.
And
could it get more meta?
Exactly. I mean, it's almost too much meta in a way, but it's fine. But I think it's interesting because like when you're watching the clips that they show of that movie, the movie within the movie called Stab, like it is doing everything that the first movie didn't do for us, which is like falling back into like the slasher tropes. It's like taking the tragedy and making it the most cliche horror movie ever, right? Like it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like not even trying to be sort of what the first movie was. And I guess that's the only way you can do it. But I think that's interesting.
Sorry, I'm handing off the baby monitor.
Oh,
sorry.
I was like, something's happening.
My wife just got home. But no, I totally agree. It's funny that you mentioned that, how it's like the first one was like about going against the tropes. And this one, it was like, okay, now we're doing everything that is the tropes in this one.
But in the movie, within the movie, like within Stab.
Like it was so cheesy. But they also do it in the movie. Like
you're right, they do.
Like Casey, CC Cooper, like that was...
Wait, who's that?
The second she realized something was sketch, that bitch should have stopped trying to get a signal and walked across the street and gone to a different house and called the cops.
I don't even know who you're talking. Oh yes, yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar,
I have that note too. I said I think that this movie accidentally falls into some cliche tropes.
Yeah,
it's less of a balance of trying to do things differently, but I still think they do enough differently. But I think that's why it doesn't like match the level that the first Scream was, because it's just like you're right. Like we talked about in the first episode how like every character is a strong character in a way. Like every character is fighting. They're not being stupid. There's an actual legitimate reason for them to run back upstairs or whatever it is, right? But in this one, you're right. Like with the Casey, her name's Casey.
Yep, CC Cooper. Casey Cooper.
She's like in the house. She's getting weird calls. Like you're getting jump scares like any other horror movie, right? Like Like, get out of the house. What are you doing? You know?
Also, that scene, like this movie came out right around the same time as I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah. And after like the Helen Shivers death, like watching her in this was just like nowhere near as gratifying. Like
it is weird
that Helen Shivers chase was wonderful. This was like meh. But do you know
which one came out first? Do you remember?
I think I know. Well, God, they had to have come out the same year.
Yeah.
I feel like they both got greenlit right after. I guess I Know What You Did Last Summer must have come out. I don't know. They were probably in production at the same time, honestly.
This came out in 97, same year that Buffy premiered.
Really?
So this, so like the first season or the first episode aired in January. And then, wait, I'm pretty sure, was it?
These movies always come out in February, so this would have come out like right.
I'm going to have to double check that.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar actually signed on to do this movie without reading a script. I don't think the script was even complete, but she signed on after the success of the first one. Yeah. And then what's funny is her original scenes were just like the sorority house scenes, but they were like, we have Sarah Michelle Gellar and Buffy's huge now and we love her so much. Like, well, Buffy, I guess, wasn't huge at the point, but they were like, they loved her and were so impressed with her that they went back and they wrote, after she wrapped, they went and wrote that film class scene where they're having the debate about sequels so that they could give her more screen time. Yeah,
she's kind of like an early version of Kirby, right? Like during that scene.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm like, dude, if I met this girl in college. But that's cool. That's really cool. I did not know that. Also, I'm surprised they didn't have that scene in the movie originally. That's sort of, I bet you they wrote the movie, were shooting it probably, and then they realized like we're not doing enough of that, like the rules thing, right? Like the rules.
Which it makes sense. I noticed watching it today, because in it, I already mentioned the line where he's like, you make a sequel to the, out to the original, but they're inferior by whatever. But they have that whole debate and they're talking about how The Godfather Part 2 is like the only good sequel. But then literally like 30 minutes later at the party scene, Mickey comes up to Randy and he's like, oh, I've got it. Star Wars, The Emperor Strikes Back. And he's like, part of a trilogy, not a sequel. And it's like, it loses the self-awareness in that moment that is usually in a Scream film. And I was like, ooh, got that. I got that.
Yeah. Which also I don't agree with Randy
at that point. Parts were written after others were filmed.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, totally. Also, Empire Strikes Back is a good sequel. They listed all the ones though, like Terminator 2, right? They talk about.
They might have said Return of the Jedi. Wait, which one's the second?
No,
Return of the Jedi is the second. Empire Strikes Back is?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Star Wars knowledge isn't
Dude, what the hell?
What it should be.
I mean, all you gotta do is watch that one to be real.
Which one has Carrie Fisher?
That's Return of the Jedi. That's Jedi.
That's my favorite one.
You
because
like
of that
scene
and because of Salacious Crumb. Salacious Crumb is on the top of my Christmas tree right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta love that opening scene for like every reason that you just mentioned and more. It's also this is not a Star Wars podcast. I was gonna say it's also the last time that all three of them are together, but whatever. Okay, so this opening scene. Any more thoughts on this opening scene?
It kind of also actually ties into Sarah Michelle Gellar's death, and the main point of weakness for me that didn't it made it harder for me to connect to the opening kill. Like, first of all, it's not really scary; it's just sad. And it's not funny. So it was like, oh, that didn't make me feel good. Like, I'm not entertained and I feel bad about it. But there's no real connection to the characters because they're not connected to Sydney. It's like, oh, it's a copycat killer and he's finding people with the same name and killing them. And it's like, why don't you just fucking kill those two sorority chicks who are the dumbest red herrings I've ever seen in a movie ever?
By the way, I forgot about this cast, to be honest.
It's a stacked cast.
Dude, what the hell?
Everybody wanted to be in it.
They got like future stars in it. I kind of agree. Like, I don't even understand really what the purpose. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I wrote it down later. But like, the opening scene? Did the killer just like want to practice in the most crowded area ever?
So it was.
I mean, it's a cool scene in the sense that it's terrifying to be like. Imagine being in a theater where everyone's hyped for this movie. Everyone's wearing that costume, and like the real killer's in there. Like, I
have to assume that Mickey was the killer in that scene. Because like when you go back and you watch it, so he's a film student, he's got a camera on his hand the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
And when you get to that scene with Dewey and Gail where he starts playing all the clips of all of them and it's like somebody's been watching us, like that should be the smoking gun right there that you think it's Mickey, but you don't.
Yeah.
And so I think he's the one who wants to make the commentary about film, and he like that opening to me that is got Mickey.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like he's a film fan. He's at a movie. He's doing the thing that he's seeing. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I also kind of like the idea that maybe it was just a random person who wanted to kill somebody in this moment. You know what I mean? Like maybe that killer's still on the loose or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I don't know how big like Jada Pinkett Smith was in 1997, but it doesn't have the same impact as like Drew Barrymore did, right?
I feel like the death of Randy in this one was more so supposed to be the Drew Barrymore scene. Like Jada Pinkett Smith was a known name, but the shocking murder I think was supposed to be Randy. Yeah. An unpopular opinion. I'm glad that it happened. Yeah. I think that
you hate Randy.
He served his purpose. How many movies can you watch with him being like, these are the rules? Do you think Sydney will ever go out with me?
Right.
Like, his character, although loved by many, doesn't have more than those two notes.
Maybe. No, I don't disagree. I think you had to raise the stakes in this movie, and that meant killing main people off from the first movie. I remember being bummed when it was him, but at the same time, you're right. Like, what else is he going to add to this at this point, right? And he kind of goes out sort of cool, I guess. He's like, yelling into a cell phone, but
yeah, I thought he did a good job of like being, because it's funny, we talked in the last one about how strong all the characters are.
Yeah.
But he was one of the weaker ones in terms of like running, not fighting. But in this one, he's actually like, fuck you.
Oh, you mean actually strong? Like physically strong?
Well, like he was like emotionally like fighting back, not just taking it and running.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Like he was the weakest character. He was like the damsel in distress in the first movie, sort of. Right. Yeah.
When I read that Scream book, you got to fucking read this book. It's so good. I got to remember the chick who wrote its name. But it's called Your Favorite Scary Movie. And it's the whole history. But apparently when they filmed that scene, his parents were on set. And so whenever Randy Jackson calls them, because they actually have the voice actor call them to get them into character while they're filming. So he called them and he was like, I'm with your parents right now. And he's like, I'm doing this and that to your mother. And like saying vile things about like killing his parents in the scene.
Yeah.
So that's where he like was getting like really like hyped up and like really into the scene. And I was like, all right, that's cool.
That is cool. I like that. I kind of see what you're saying about like the Drew Barrymore death in this movie. That is like the big death in this movie, right?
Yeah. Cause Randy was so like loved by people.
Yeah.
Like that's the one that you're like, no way.
I mean, obviously in the Randy death, there's a huge clue about him talking trash about Billy, which kind of like is the last thing he says before
Billy was a pussy mama's boy. Like,
right? Yeah. Yeah. And then we find out later that it's Billy's mom, which is kind of dumb, but whatever. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on from the opening scene. Can I just call out the fucking Dewey theme?
The theme song that it was
it's like that Western style song or whatever.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
Dun, dun. I love that song for him.
I do too. I think it's awesome. And it's just like every time it plays, I laugh. It's so funny.
Dun, dun, dun,
like
dun,
that character is so, it's like almost a joke of a character, but like you can't help but love it, right? Like
this movie is where I fall in love with him.
Yeah.
And like watching it again, I'm like, okay, he had to survive this one. Like we talked about like, oh, I think they're just fucking with us at this point. But there's so much toxic masculinity between like Billy in the first one, Mickey in this one, and Dewey's like the empathetic, anti-toxic masculine male.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he had actually died, like maybe unintentionally, it would have been a commentary that like, oh, like you can't be a sensitive, weak man. Like, you know, like, so now like, I'm like, I love Dewey now. I hate his limp. It looks a little bit inappropriately
I like
mocking.
Everyone calling out. It's also cool because like, okay, so this, I forget the order of events now. You're gonna have to remind me. There's the kill in the movie theater. Is that what sets off the press to arrive to Sydney, or is there another murder first? Okay. So that happens.
And then they all show up on campus and they're like, Sydney, what do you think's going on?
Yeah.
And she like runs off.
It's this media thing that they're doing, right? The 90s where like she's stuck in this fucking nightmare of being scared for her life, but also being like bombarded by the press constantly, right?
And that's when Gail shows up and tries to trick her into an interview with Cotton.
Totally. Oh yeah, I want to talk about Cotton, but before we get there, like I think it's cool how all the characters, and this is why I brought that up to begin with, is like Dewey showing up is so cool because he cares so much about Sydney and everybody. Like these you can tell through his character alone, like they're so bonded from the tragedy that they went through, right? Like him, Randy, and Sydney, and him and Randy probably weren't even really friends, I would assume, in the first movie. And it's not like Sydney and Dewey are related, right? He's just like the older brother of her best friend. But you get the scene with him and with Dewey and Randy in the diner where they're talking about like who's a suspect thing, which is fun.
And there's like
seeing.
automatic trust between them, even though he's like, where Randy calls it out again who the killer is, but he's like, but if he's a suspect, I'm a suspect. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
But he literally calls it out 2 more times, which is why he can't be there. Because how many times are we going to have him tell us who the killer is and the rules?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But I like the fact that like you feel, at least I do when I'm watching this. You one of the strengths of this movie, I think, is you feel like the bond between them. And I have a note too here somewhere where it's like, this is unlike most slasher movies where like most of the characters survive. Like a lot, like there's a lot of deaths, sure, but not like a Friday the 13th or something where like every character dies except for one girl at the end. Like
they like intentionally write disposable characters that they can get rid of because at this point people are actually invested in the mains.
Exactly, and you like to watch them and you like their relationship, and like that's something that I think is so sort of teen soap opera-y, or at least 90s like My So-Called Life soap opera of like having these characters, shipping them and whatnot, right?
Well, it
like,
grounds the film. It's, you know, like it's what makes this movie like the first like slasher to be like, oh, I actually give a fuck about these people and I'm like tuned in because I care about them, not just because I'm here to watch carnage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to Cotton.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Cotton. Cotton barely in the first movie. He's in like a news clip for like half a second and his name is dropped a couple times, right? The original...
Yep. He like wants his 10 minutes and he's
profiting off of tragedy and his tragedy, or his, wrongful imprisonment.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like he's not a good guy and he's not a bad guy. Like he's not, but he leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Totally.
Like the casting's perfectly because that's who he is in a way. Like you kind of like, he's kind of comes off as scumbag all the time, right? But you're right. Like he I agree. You don't like him, but you do like him, or you want to see what happens with him, right? Like,
but it's funny because it's like, okay, like you go through this tragedy where you're accused of this horrific crime. And when you finally get your name cleared, you'd think you'd be like, I just want my life back.
Yeah.
Which you probably can't ever go back to. But he's like, I just want my fame now.
Yeah. I want my money. I want my bag, as they say. I got not much to add to that. I don't know. Like again, it plays into this media trope, right? He shows up with Gail, and it's actually the perfect way to get Gail to be there too. Is like the second tragedy is happening. She's already got all this money off the first book based on the first movie, which is now being made into a movie within universe. And she in the first movie she thought Cotton was innocent, right? Like she talked to him a lot of times when she was writing. Was there a book there too?
I think it's all.
Is this her second book? No, I think this is her second book.
Is it?
There was a book that she wrote about the mom getting
Stab,
murdered.
Or the book that Stab was.
Exactly.
Yep, you're right. You're right. There's 2 books.
Yeah.
Never connected that.
So you have Cotton like just roaming around this college campus, like trying to get an interview with Sydney for like
a
4 days or however long this takes to happen. Yeah, seriously.
I have so much to say about him, but it's got to be a Scream 3 conversation. We haven't quite crossed the bridge into his arc.
That's fair.
But let's get into Gail.
You know, it's funny. We had to delay this recording, and I watched it like I guess over a week ago now, and I'm sort of now a little shaky on the order of events. But I do want to call out just like Luke Wilson being fucking Billy in Stab. Oh my god, it's so funny.
He's so good at being so bad in it.
Is it Tori Spelling who's the?
Yeah, Tori Spelling and Luke Wilson.
Didn't they mention Tori Spelling in the first movie about like someone who would play you, and it's probably Tori Spelling or whatever?
Yeah, he was like, I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself. After she's like, oh, with my luck, I'd be cast as Tori Spelling. So the fact that Tori Spelling was like the butt of a joke in that movie, and then was like, yeah, I'll come in and play her. Like, good on you, Tori Spelling. Good sense of humor.
Yeah. Okay, I want to mention this too. I'll probably cut to this interesting, but I want to mention this too. I like how in the sequel, so we have this meta thing going on. I like how in the sequel that it's a sequel, which are sort of a lot of times copycats of the first movie. And the whole thing is about copycat killers, right? Like, I think that's really clever. And they have that scene where they're talking about sequels or whatnot. But if you think about like a lot of sequels, especially before the modern day, like in the 2000s or whatever, like it was very much like just do the same thing again. You saw like Mummy Returns, Indiana Jones, like all these franchises, they're just doing like the same movie
Change
again.
the circumstances, tell the same story.
Exactly. And so to me, it's kind of clever that they're doing like the sequel is a copycat killer. Like it's copying the first movie's killer in a way, which I think is interesting. Anyway,
but we're actually changing the roles of every person in the typecast character. If they were strong, they're weak. If they were weak, they're strong.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, and can you give an example?
Like, okay, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar, trope, weak.
Yeah.
Derek, the boyfriend, there's no way I could ever buy him as a killer. Like, there's no fucking way. He was too pure and too cute in it, so it like reversed that. Randy, I think, was weak in the first one. He's strong in this one.
Okay, for a moment.
Dewey, I think, was weak in the first one, and I think in this one he's experienced some emotional growth. I love his little speech about bumbling about like, how do you not know my incompetence as an act speech that I don't
like
know the words to, but I love it.
He's like quoting the book that she wrote. So funny. I actually think that Dewey's consistent. Like, I think he's grown a little bit, but I don't think he's like a reversal of his. I think he was always sort of that, and we just love him more now because he's like he's. Well,
I think he hasn't flipped. I think he's the one. I think he and Sydney are the two characters, and Gail in a way too. Like, they're the three that are growing. Yeah. Everybody else, it's going one way or the other, but they're just on a growth arc.
They're kind of like the main characters, the three of them, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, cool.
Let's talk Gail. She kind of gets like.
You want to talk about the Gail? Yeah.
Some self-awareness in this film.
She does. Talk about that.
Well, it's like you see with like Dewey that, you know, she sees that like she hurts people with her writing. And then I think with Sydney and with Cotton, even like that forced interview, like that very Oprah moment. It's like she's learning the difference between like being ruthless to make a buck and being a responsible journalist. And I think this is the movie where we see that transition of her character. Yeah.
I mean, she still did it though. I mean, she's still exactly.
But you see that she has depth and she cares about the people that she's hurting.
I think you can tell that she cares about doing this.
I think you can tell she cares about Sydney too.
Yeah.
Not in the same way.
No, I mean, she did like
she feels
try
responsible
to
for
blindside her with that interview.
Yeah, but that's like the start of it, and then where it ends, I think she starts to realize like this person is not to make a buck off. This person's tragedy isn't entertainment. Like, I'm responsible for making their life worse. Like, I feel like she does kind of have that. Also, I love that she always gets to kind of save Sydney.
Yeah, totally. But also fail at doing it, right?
Yep. Every time.
Every time. Okay. Yeah, Gail's great in that. I mean, first of all, I love Courtney Cox in this movie. Like,
I love when Dewey's like, by the way, nice streaks.
I mean, they were.
I mean, the hair was banging back then.
There's like,
I don't know if I'd rock it now.
There's like some comment later in the movie where like they give her shit about how she looks. I'm like,
she looked great.
Courtney Cox has never been hotter than this movie. All right, this theater scene. Or wait, should we talk? So let's talk about the boyfriend, I guess. What do you think about Jerry O'Connell?
Derek.
Do you like this character at all?
Love him. I think he is so pure.
You like this singing on the table thing?
It's cheesy. And I think if I had to guess, and I don't know, I'm wondering if it was like, okay, so we made this sequel and we clearly made it a lot darker than the first. So let's throw in a moment of lightness to kind of balance it a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a terrible singer.
Well, I mean,
but I love that scene and I love him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this guy. He's like he's like cornbread. He's like sweetbread or whatever. He's just like boring.
I don't believe that frat boy Derek would use the line, "I hope that was an off the cuff remark that holds no subtext whatsoever."
When was that?
After she tells him that he should stay away from her for his safety.
Oh, right.
Every time he says that, I'm like, meh.
Yeah. I think I mean, yeah.
Is he pre-med? Is that accurate?
Do you buy the fact that she would like be suspicious of him based on her previous trauma with her last boyfriend?
I was thinking about this because I'm like, I don't buy him as a killer at all. Yeah. They're like night and day in terms of how they're written as characters. But I think in her circumstances, once you get thrown into this traumatic life or death situation, what she's learned is you don't trust anybody, period. So I don't think it had as much to do with him as it did with the circumstances.
So you buy that she'd be like, nah.
Yeah, I do.
This franchise has so many shots of Sydney in like a police station, like looking through the glass at someone she knows. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, having in the first movie, having in this movie, she's always just like at some police desk looking like traumatized. What do you think about this theater scene?
The Cassandra scene?
Yes, where she's like running around and she thinks there's a killer in there.
Okay, is there one? Is there not? I looked into like the history of the play because I was like, obviously intentional.
Yeah.
So I don't know that the commentary totally hit, but basically Cassandra was a character who foresaw the future and spoke the truth, and so she was killed for it.
Okay.
So I feel like it's supposed to be a commentary of like Sydney just is disruptive as a person to the safe norm we want to believe we live in. And so she's a pariah for it, but I don't know if that message totally hits, but I do think the scene when they're actually like acting it out and dancing around and like that scene works for me when he pops in for some reason, even though I don't think it's believable, it works.
Yeah. I see. That's funny. I saw it as like the theater of tragedy, like like it represents.
I have a note on
90s America. Oh, cool. Okay,
I wrote down violence as a spectacle, the movie theater murder, Mickey wants a trial, and the Cassandra play.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get to the trial part because I think that adds to that too. But yeah, I think that's sort of why it is. Like they're trying to be actors. You have this like very famous character actor. I don't know his name is like the theater teacher or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Also, I have written down here 2 Friends references, and I don't remember what they were.
There were 2 Friends references in there?
Yes.
Did not catch them. But also, I don't love Friends as much as everybody does. I loved that tweet that came out years ago that was like, if I ever won the lottery, I'd buy Friends so that I could edit out the laugh track and show everybody what a shitty show it is.
You know what's funny is like I've heard that before and stuff, but like someone has been editing laugh track into Breaking Bad and it plays so perfectly like a sitcom.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
so really funny. Yeah. It's like, have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. You say yes?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. When he like tries to go like confront Ted, the guy that his wife is cheating on him, like at his office, and he's like trying to drag the plant over and like throw it at the glass. Like there's laugh tracks in there and stuff like that. It totally plays. Like
that's
that movie,
hilarious.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of Friends where it's like, oh, this is actually a sitcom. Which I thought was funny. Yeah, I don't know what those 2 Friends references were now. And again, I watched this. We had to delay this, and I should have written them down, but maybe they'll come back to me.
Do you know about all this movie? Like it was fast tracked, and it was plagued with leaks. So apparently,
oh really?
So in like the original scripts that came out, it was Derek and Hallie that were the killers, and then
who was that?
The boyfriend and the roommate.
Oh really?
Which would not have. And then they were like,
that's dumb.
Well, in the book that I read, I believe that scripts were leaked, but in the book I read, they were basically like, well, yeah, we wrote multiple endings, but the one we shot is the only one that was meant to be. I don't know if that's actually true, but the one that leaked was Derek and Hallie as the killers. And then everybody was like, oh, they rewrote it because the boyfriend a second time in a row was too much. And
I wonder if it was a fake leak. They're trying to throw people off.
Could be.
Back in the early days of the internet. That's interesting though. I'm glad they didn't do that. That would have been terrible. I have here they do a worse job at the mystery of who's the killer. 'Cause like you mentioned earlier, like you see camera footage of all the kills. Like it's obviously like Mickey is at least one of the killers.
Debbie
by the way,
Salt shows up at every
we didn't even talk about
scene.
that's Timothy Olyphant in this movie. Like this cast is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Except for Aunt Jackie as Billy's mom. Aunt Jackie from Roseanne.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
I didn't see this movie in theaters. My friends saw it first. They ruined it for me, and I'll never forget Rachel being like, Roseanne's sister's the killer. And I was like, what? What? Why? How? Why?
That's funny. Yeah.
Before we get into killer conversations, because I feel like that's the end of the film.
About, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I do think this film is scarier than the first. Like it actually.
I agree.
I think that the car escape.
Oh my
scene,
God. I'm so happy you talked about this scene. I literally, that's like the main scene I want to talk about in this movie. Go ahead.
You go.
No, well, I was just going to say, this is like, the movie is this cop car scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right. It is scary. It's suspenseful, right? I mean, the whole thing is awesome. When they have to crawl through the cop car, out the window, over his unconscious body, and then she like wants to go back and take his mask off. That whole scene, and then they do it twice, right? Because the roommate's in there too, and then she's like, "You got to come to. I can't open the door. You got to get out." Same exact way. I mean, edge of your seat, awesome. It's funny because it's like the scene that I remember watching this movie the first time. Like this is the scene that I always think about for whatever reason. Like it's just a well-made, well put together, great Wes Craven fucking scary scene.
And to get one of those in a film is a fucking home run. They have two in this movie because I think the sound booth with Dewey and Gale
I agree too.
is
That's
even
great.
Scarier.
I don't know. I think it's scary, but that scene is amazing as well. Yeah,
they're so good. Like you don't get like usually like in a horror movie, you're like lucky if you get one really good like chase scene or like a really tense build up. And this was just like it started off kind of cheesy with the theater with Cece, and then suddenly it's like really violent with Randy, and then really tense with these two back-to-back scenes.
Yeah. I think, it's funny. I think with slasher movies, a lot of the times you watch them, they're trying to do clever kills, right? They're worried about the actual death itself. Like whether it's like, I'll just use the first movie as an example, like crushing someone in a garage door or like whatever it is. But in this movie, I think they do such a cool job with the kills where like there's this really suspenseful cop car scene. The Randy scene is a confrontation between him and the killer, right? Like his death is built based on like a dialogue he's having with the killer, and then he's killed. Like that's an interesting way to do.
And you don't actually see his murder. The van door gets closed. And you see the van like rocking as people are going by with a beatbox. But like,
what the fuck?
The most intense parts of these are the buildup, not the kills themselves.
Yeah.
Where now people are focused on such like ridiculous kills, like even the trailer for Scream 7, like you've seen she's swinging on the chandelier and is going to fall on the knife. Like
right. Yeah.
Like that wouldn't fuck.
Well, we don't know.
Ghostface up too.
We don't know the lead up to that kill, right? Like maybe that's also one of those scenes.
Right. But the emphasis is on like a ridiculous way to kill somebody instead of like, let's build a really tense, scary moment.
Yeah.
Like Scream, the first two, nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Strangers. Oh my God. Have you ever seen that movie? That movie
it's been a
is
while.
like, there's like 2 kills in the entire movie, but it's tense the entire time.
Yeah.
Like
I gotta
people who can
that.
nail tension, I think, are the most brilliant.
Maybe we should do that movie after the series. There's a couple of those.
Just a one-off. Yeah. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you have this writer who's very sharp with his dialogue and like the meta of the whole series. Like it makes sense that he would be thinking of these clever kills, right? Like he delivers. And again, I don't think this movie's as good as the first one, but I do think like this cop car scene is fantastic, stands on its own. The Dewey scene, I think, stands on its own. There's some cool stuff in here, but I think the biggest weakness of this movie are like some of the side characters. They are just so unmemorable. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar, other than that scene with the sequel talk, like a non-character. Her roommate, like a non-character. Like I don't, you know what I mean? When she dies, I'm like, that sucks, but like I don't really care about her. You know what I mean? Like
you don't have the same emotional pull. Randy was the only person that died that some people cared about, and the rest were all throwaway characters.
And Dewey, who we thought potentially was dead. Same thing. I agreed. 100% agreed. And that scene is amazing. I have a note here that says fucking killed him. It's all about, oh, all right. I've skipped to the end at this point. Do you want to talk about the Dewey scene? I have no notes for that.
Getting all stabbed and shit. Well, we kind of talked about it when I was like, I like Dewey now, and he had to survive this one, so I don't care how many times you kill him, he has to survive. He's the healthy male.
Biggest fucking plot hole. How the fuck does that video footage work? They're in this classroom, a TV, a old style TV clicks on with live footage of them making out. How is that possible?
Because Mickey is up in the fucking little booth with the remote.
But that's like
control.
a VCR TV. Like, I don't think he's... Where is that video coming from?
The play
no,
because
he's playing footage of all the other kills, and then edited in that footage is the live footage of them.
Well, he switches to a camera that's on the... Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think we could figure this out. I think it's a conversation for another time. Let's go back and figure out this scene.
Okay.
But I don't think it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Sure.
The one thing that I think doesn't make sense is Cotton being in a fucking college that night being like, I was trying to help Dewey.
I know. Yeah.
Like, let's put Cotton there, but not explain it. And what, like, he shouldn't be on the campus.
Also that library scene or whatever. We skipped that where she shows up and like.
Where it's like, suddenly her computer's like, I'm going to kill you.
See, there is some, you can tell this movie was rushed a little bit. Like, there's some things you're like, nah, that doesn't really work.
But you have to admit, though, for a movie that was rushed that came out literally a year later, it's really fucking good for a rush.
No, it is.
job.
I think it's a strong movie. Like, I think as far as sequels go, like it especially for slasher movies, like it's one of the better ones. Especially, I think it's, if you look at the whole franchise as a whole, I think it stands up there strong too. There's really, we'll talk about that later, but when we rank all these, like, there's not really a lot of, I would even call bad Scream movies.
I love every Scream movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing this podcast because we both love every Scream movie, except for 6 for you. But I can't wait to get into that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like 5.
Oh, 5. I thought you didn't like 6. I listened to our last episode and you were like, 6 is the dumbest fucking movie.
No, I think I said 5. Well, I meant to say 5. So whatever I said, it's 5. Right. That's the one.
From here on out, call it 5 Cream.
5 Cream.
Like Jack Quaid. 5
gross.
Cream.
All right, we're at the end now. Let's skip to the end, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Mickey's the killer. I have a quote here that says, like, sexy blood always are on these fucking killers. Like, they, like, for whatever reason, you can go back to the first movie even. Like, it's such a 90s thing to do, but to take, like, some, like, sexy person and, like, put blood on them in, like, this sexy way, right? Like, it's so, like, true crime. Like, I want to fuck the killer type situation. I want him
to look hot and bloody.
Exactly. And be a psycho. That's all sort of like works for certain people.
Mickey totally works for me because he does look scary, but he also does seem like somebody that you want to like hang out with throughout the film for me. Yeah.
I mean, obviously I feel like as a film person, like I'd be friends with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and Timothy Olyphant is a great actor.
He really is.
All right, so let's get into the trial motive. Thoughts?
Well, hang on. I my bummer about Mickey is that, like, I don't think they do enough with his character early on. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember the first time I watched this movie years ago, like thinking like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot he was a character in this movie.
Because he's literally just rubbing her back every time and being like, "We've got you, Sid.
He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of lines. He's not like,
we're here for you. You're not alone. Here's me filming everybody. That's it."
Yeah, he's got like that one. They have that one scene together, but he's not like a Stu where like he's almost every scene he's in, he's memorable for better or for worse. Like he's kind of forgettable, and I wish that they would have done a better job of making his character interesting, which I think they do better in Scream 4 in a way where they have like the nerdy kids being more interesting in a way. It's like the failure of this movie they put in Scream 4. That's a bummer. But I do like the whole, like you just brought it up, like the whole idea of like, I want a trial, like in the again, this mass media as like America in the 90s, even today still, about the O.J. Simpson trial or whatever. Like,
this would not have been as relevant to me or believable to me if I had not just read Helter Skelter.
Really? That's awesome.
I literally just read Helter Skelter, and it was like, it's, you feel like at the time that you are living in, like these things that are happening in a vacuum. But when you
like only at this time, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you look back at this shit and it's like, oh, this has been going on forever. Like they're just like really fucking crazy ass people who can't tell the difference between like notoriety and like fame and like success and just like they just want to be known and it doesn't matter. And they like,
yeah,
I wouldn't. I'm
well,
glad
not to get morbid, but obviously we have like a lot of shootings happening in this country. But like there was a time when I felt the news was trying to not name the person who is causing the violence, right?
And now it's immediately like, here's their photo, here's everything about him. Exactly. We don't know if they did it or not.
Do you think he's sexy with blood on his face? Like it's stuff like that, right? Like it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, everything's a witch hunt now. Exactly.
Well, sure, but it's also like the fame that this character in this movie is wanting from this. It's not even the fame. I guess it is fame, but he also thinks he's going to get off. Like he thinks he's going to like go to trial and be like, I blame the movies. Again, we brought this up in the first thing, how like the media at the time was like, what does violent television and violent video games and all this shit like do to our youth? They're going to grow up and want to kill things. He's exploiting that. He's saying, oh, they already think that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I could probably get off by just blaming
and we know that that's going to be related to the motive in the end because of that first like debate scene where SMG is like, that is so moral majority. You can't.
Yeah, like... totally. That's so funny. So, okay. How does he reveal himself again? I don't remember. So, okay. They come into the theater again. I wrote down here, theater represents the theater of violence in America, the theater of violence in America, right? Like here we are. Like the showdown is at the end of this movie in a theater, and
it's a fucking show, and we're all here to watch it.
Exactly. And you have Mickey wanting it. He wants the trial. He wants to be the show, blah, blah, blah. You have, you know, the movie Stab is out there profiting out. Like all this stuff is like lining up perfectly. But the boyfriend gets shot like right. Yeah, go ahead.
Sydney walks onto the stage and Derek drops down because he's been hung up by his brothers.
Right.
AKA Mickey.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh God, I gotta get you down. And then Ghostface walks in and then he like reveals himself and it's like, boyfriend killer.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And trying to like get her not to trust him. But come on, Derek is a sweet.
Oh, yes. He does the thing where he plays on her past trauma and tries to get her to think that he's the killer too, and this is all a ruse. Yeah.
And then he immediately repeats it with being like, I had to have a partner. And then somebody walks in and you think it's Gail for a second and you're like, oh my God. And then it's
I don't know.
Debbie Salt.
I mean, we don't think that because we're the audience. We just saw her get attacked or whatever. But Sydney thinks it, right?
His face when he goes, Billy's mother.
It's like such a Stu moment right then.
I'm glad that you said that because I do think that he tried to replicate Stu a little bit. Like his crazy is over the top, but it's believable.
Yeah.
Laurie Metcalf, her eyes just get really big a lot. It's not the same.
What do you think about this Billy's mom thing? Because I actually think this is the weakest part of the movie. Okay.
I like it.
You like it? Okay. Let's hear it.
I think that she's a victim blamer, and I think the whole commentary there is all about blame. And it's like, okay, her husband is cheating on her. She blames the other woman. And then her kid gets murdered. She blames the person he was trying to kill. And so I think there's like a whole setup of family trauma about like, maybe this is why Billy was the way he was, because the whole thing was about not taking responsibility for your actions and blaming other people who actually aren't responsible for hurting you.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. It also sort of, you were saying that, and it was reminding me of sort of like the idea of like, the parents are never held accountable for the actions of their kids, especially when they're young, right? Like, I'm not saying they should be. I'm just saying like that is something that comes up in conversation about like, where were the parents, right? Like they should have been, you know, watching them or like instilling better value or taking care of them or whatever it was, not neglecting them. That's part of the conversation. I'm not trying to take a stand on that either way, but I'm just saying like that is also part of it, I feel like, in a way. And she is avoiding accountability and blaming other people, right? Like you were saying. And maybe you're right. Maybe that is what.
She literally victimizes Billy and.
Well, it's a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't really I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of moms out there that no matter what happens, like they're gonna still.
Okay, I think a lot of
Love
moms
their
would like be
son.
like, okay, my son committed murder and I'm gonna stand by them and get him a good lawyer. But would they be like, I'm gonna kill their girlfriend?
I agree. It is interesting to me because like it also is a genetic thing where it's like her first reaction to that happening is like, well, I guess I'll go kill Sydney then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did Sydney have to do with any of this shit?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's all victim blaming. And so it very much, I don't think they dive into it enough for it to be much of a discussion. But I do think that it's like, okay, like here's a woman who blames everybody else for what happened in her life and acts violently about it.
Totally.
Where'd Billy get it from?
Exactly.
Family trauma.
Exactly. Yeah. Like father or like mother, like son.
Apple tree.
I think you're right. Like I think at the time I didn't mind it. It also kind of plays with the whole Friday the 13th thing, right? With like the mom getting revenge. Which is also sort of meta. I think also I think that the main flaw with her being the killer is that in the first movie it's this whodunit, and when it's revealed, you don't go. It doesn't feel out of left field. I think it's weird. I mean, looking at it now, when you see her like interject with all these like scenes with her and Gail like trying to be a reporter or whatever, like her reveal to me is like a letdown. It's like, oh, is the weird reporter girl? Like it doesn't.
Yeah, because she's not she's
like
not a player until
like you could. The only way you could figure out was her is if you were like, it's so weird that we keep having these scenes with this random wannabe reporter. It must be her, because why else would they have these scenes? Whereas in the first movie, it's like, oh, maybe it is the boyfriend, maybe it's not, maybe it is. Like you don't really know. And
this
so when
is
the reveal
more
happens,
about analyzing
it
movies for how they do things to throw you off than actually getting something out of the story that makes you be like able to figure it out.
Yeah. But also I think it's cool. They sort of repeat the first movie thing where they have like Sydney being like kind of a badass and like giving them shit the whole time about like insulting them as they're threatening to kill her, which I think is dope.
I think she's even stronger in this movie.
Totally. I mean, she's a veteran at dealing with psycho killers.
Her very first scene, it's literally like Ghostface calling her, and she's like, Corey, blah, 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 blah. It's a federal crime. Clocked at da-da-da-da. Like she's just like so over it, like so strong.
Yeah. This one, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about this one. Sorry, my bad.
Yep. Should we cut in the Britney Spears song "Stronger" right there for a minute?
No, I don't want to get demonetized. I don't need a copyright strike. Maybe we can have "Fighter" by Christina Aguilera. You know.
There you go.
Does she even talk on the phone with the killer in this movie? Just once, maybe.
Yes, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's when the sorority party is clearing out Omega, Beta, Zeta. So they're all clearing out because Casey just got killed across the street, and she goes back to get her coat, and the sorority phone rings, and she decides she's the appropriate person to answer the phone at a home she doesn't live at after a party's cleared out.
It was the 90s.
It's Ghostface.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you answer phones. I don't know. They're like, hello, can I take a message?
Do you know Matthew Lillard's in that party scene?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. No, I didn't know that. Where?
When they're like out on the patio, like you have to go on YouTube and have people point it out to you, but they
why?
Point him
but
out.
Why is he in it?
Because the Scream family is a serious family.
So is that why people are theorizing that he's like in this new one? Because look, he was there. He didn't die in the first movie. He was at the party.
He better have fucking died in the first movie. I'm sorry. He has got to be dead. He can only be AI. If he comes back and they're like, he survived a TV on his fucking head, I'm going to be fucking pissed. I'm going to call it lazy writing.
Well, we'll see. I mean, look, I agree with you, but like maybe they figure out a cool way to do it. You know?
You have to figure out a cool way for him to survive it. And then you have to figure out a cool way for Sydney to not know and have it affect her life for 30 years.
Right. Like, why did he wait around for so long? He was masterminding the whole thing with Kirby. Anyway. All right, yeah. So I also like the jump scare at the end here with Mickey jumping back and they just like shoot the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome. Anytime.
Okay, let's talk their
guns,
motives.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we talked motives in the last one.
Okay.
Do you find the motives believable?
Yeah. I think it's relevant. I think it's on theme. Mickey's motive, I think, is on theme. I think it's ridiculous, and I agree with Billy's mom where she's like that whole fucking
blame the
trial,
movies thing.
Blame the movies thing. Yeah, like I agree. I don't think he would have got off. Right, he'd go to jail.
I think his motive was dumb, but I buy him as a killer, so it works.
Well, he's a kid. I mean, they look like grown-ups. They're 30 in this movie or whatever, but like technically he's like supposed to be playing like 20, 21.
That 37-year-old kid did not have a good motive.
And but I think in his mind, in his stupid, 90s film obsessed brain, it makes sense for him to do that, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then Billy's mom, yeah, it makes sense.
Obviously, it's mom.
Obviously, if Billy's capable of it, she's probably capable of it too. And
but I'm calling that a mental health thing and not a mother's love.
I agree. 100%. All right. So end of the movie, Dewey's alive. After he gets like stabbed multiple times.
My little Dewster. Hated him in the first one. I didn't hate him in the first one, but I was like, what a bitch. And then this one I was like, he's such a sweet man.
That's funny. I think it's like a joke. Like they're trolling us in this movie at this point.
They're not. He's got to be like the anti-ego.
No, I mean with like stabbing him that many times and having him still be alive at the end. That's a fucking joke. Like, like not a joke as in like that's stupid. Like it's an actual joke in the movie. That he's
I don't think
still.
so in this one. We'll get there with 6 because I think Chad in 6, that was a fucking joke with the.
I don't remember that. I don't remember. Sorry.
Great. I can't wait for you to watch it.
I've only watched it one time. All right. Let's rank this shit.
Let's rank it.
Yeah, this is your whole thing. We need a little theme song right here for like ranking the killer.
We should have like a. Bing,
you got rhymes?
bing.
Let's hear it. Like, how much blood is a spiller? Let's rank the killers. I don't know. Something like that.
How much blood are you spilling? Whose son are you killing?
This is where we rank the killers. That'll be the song.
I like it. Don't put that in there, or do if you feel like it's right.
I'm going to.
Okay, so you have to split up Billy and Stu. Now that we're getting in,
I'm not splitting them up. They're one.
They're not one.
They're
not one. One is a man and one is a boy. They're not one.
They're both boys. What are you talking about? They're both little boys. One's just a clown.
Okay, fair.
Like,
they're both boys. But one was like very serious and one was a clown. Yes.
Yeah.
But I would put like Billy is always number 1 for me. Mm-hmm. I would have a hard time.
Well, we just got 4 killers right now if you're going to split them up, right?
So second place, I have a hard time going between Mickey and Stu.
Okay.
I think Mickey is scarier.
Okay. He's more of a psycho.
But I find Stu more
entertaining to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Billy's mom it's Roseanne's sister, so she just didn't do it for me. She just like her psycho face was just bugging her eyes out a bunch.
Yeah, she's not threatening. Did she actually kill anybody, by the way? I mean, I think it was Mickey doing all the killing, probably.
She killed Randy. She said she got knife happy.
Oh, that's right.
So it was like the most violent one because he had the blood spattered face.
We didn't even talk about Kenny in this. Or not Kenny. What was his name? What was the cameraman's name?
Oh, I love the cameraman in this.
Yeah. But he comes back at the end after all the violence is over. Okay, I'm back for the money now.
I love it though.
Bails on her.
When Gail gets punched for the second time and Hallie's like, "Did you get that on film?" And he goes, "Yes, I got that on film." He's like the comic relief, but he's not around enough. He should have been in it more.
I agree. Okay, if I'm ranking them as a pairing, obviously Billy's 2 and then these 2. But if I have to split them up,
you have to split up killers. You have to.
I'm never splitting up Billy and Stu.
You don't have to split up Billy and Stu, but from here on out, you have to split up all the other killers.
I don't know. To me, they're equal. Like they both have pros and cons that sort of like cancel out each other in a way. Like I think that.
Who would you be more afraid of?
Who would I be more afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, probably the mom.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, imagine if you were like at school and like you accidentally like tripped her son. She'd come and fucking break your nose or something. Like she's crazy. She's killing people
like,
because her son was a murderer.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I
think I would get along with Mickey. We'd be talking about Empire Strikes Back and shit.
I'd get along with Mickey too, but I'd also be afraid of him.
He'd be stabbing me.
But I think that our ranking has to do with our experience of you being a man and being like,
totally.
Karen moms are terrifying, and me being a woman and being like, white men lurking are terrifying.
Don't be sexist. White people are terrifying. No, I mean he's creepy. Yeah, he's scary. Obviously, I'd be scared of someone capable of murder, regardless of who it was. But
he could overpower you. She's not going to do shit to you.
But I'm not ranking them based on like how scared of them I am. I'm ranking them on how like iconic and memorable they are. And I think that's why I pair the first two together, because to me, like they're the most movie.
They're never going to be topped.
History, iconic pairing of a horror movie. Whereas, honestly, like when we get through this whole ranking, I'm wondering where these two are going to stand. I bet you they're not going to be in second and third for very long. And
I'm going to say that's why I have to split them up though, because one of them, as we go down the line, is going to slide down for me. Yeah. And one will stay at the top for me.
You think one will stay at the top? Well, I think, I wish if they had fleshed out Mickey's character more in the first half of this movie, I would think Mickey's a great killer, and I'd put him at number 3. But because they didn't, and in fact, they didn't really flesh out either of these characters. I think that's the biggest weakness of this movie. Like, Billy and Stu by the end of that movie. So when they're the killers, you're like, fuck. But in this movie, you're just like, oh, the weird reporter girl and this guy who was barely in the movie.
Lauren Metcalf, because it's like, okay, it's Billy's mom, but it's like, I met Mickey on the internet, and now he's a killer.
Wait, say that again?
Like, the whole thing is like, I met Mickey on the internet for serial killers.
Oh, exactly.
And
exactly.
Like, that's it. That's the characters. Like, you have
your
like
you
line
don't
of
buy their
exposition,
relationship
and that's what you
either.
tell us.
Exactly. It's like, why are they killing people together? How do you even approach that subject? Hey, I saw you were posting on this forum about maybe wanting to kill people. I also want to kill people.
Purple Onion and
yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I think if you look at this kind of like on paper and from a bird's eye view, like they're not well thought out characters.
I would agree with that.
I think for me, they'll probably slip down pretty far because I think, yeah, sure. I think that Mickey's cool. You know what I mean? But not cool. I think I'm
just afraid of him. He's got psychotic eyes. But
all that sexy blood on his face, you know?
Yeah, he's sexy. He's a sexy bloody man.
Anyway, yeah. Obviously, this defaults for me, I guess, Mickey and then Billy's mom.
So you would rank him over her?
Probably, yeah. But I do think that her motive makes more sense. It's weird. I would actually tie them. I don't know. To me, that they're a pairing and they're both lame.
Which one do you think was in the cop car scene?
Mickey.
I think it was her, because Mickey was clearly the one in the theater scene with Dewey and Gail, and the cop car was happening on the other side of town.
I honestly don't think they think about that when they're making these movies, but
you've got to though.
But I think because the fact that, but how then I would think Mickey could get, out of the car and then sneak by them all and get behind the roommate faster than.
Do you think they were both there? Maybe that was a double kill.
Oh, maybe. I like that. Maybe he's like running. He's like, oh no, she just got in a car accident. That actually
would make more sense for me, because that was the one thing where it was like, he's in the car. He's not in the car. He's behind her. That was a double kill. They had
one costume though, and they had to share it. they're like changing clothes in like a locker room.
In the alley.
we only get one costume. Everything else was sold out. The movie's too popular.
Why did you take your underwear off? I just need the robe.
Yeah, why are you going commando? All right, let's rank the movie now. Yeah.
Rank the movie? Well,
I mean, obviously it's second.
It's second. Nothing's going to top one. We know that.
Yeah. But better than people think, I think this movie is. Was that a sentence that made sense?
Better than people think? I think it is.
This movie was. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a sentence?
Yeah, I think it was a sentence.
Okay. Obviously, we know we're only 2 movies in. It's not going to top Scream. But in terms of where it falls in just like the sequel genre, do you think there is a successful horror franchise that has a better second film than Scream 2? I do not.
On the spot? Maybe Night of the Living Dead? Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. As a film nerd.
I haven't seen it.
As the stand-in Mickey here.
Wait, is Dawn of the Dead the one with the Book of Evil? And the clay figures melting in the original.
You're thinking about Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, I would put up there.
The Evil Dead remake was really good.
Yeah, people like that movie a lot. Well, let's wrap up this podcast first. So, Scream 2, that's our thoughts. Hopefully, it was entertaining, and you all liked it. Thanks for listening. What are we talking about next episode?
Scream 3.
Scream 3. Okay.
One of the most entertaining of the Scream films to watch. Do you think it's good? Maybe. Do you not? Maybe. But you can't deny that it's fucking entertaining.
This is a movie that I haven't seen it since I was very young.
Oh
but I had the DVD
really?
of it, and me and my sister liked it. Like, we watched it a lot. And then, yeah, but sign off on this.
All right. I opened it, so you
I was. Okay, yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk about Scream 3 next time. And yeah, until then, goodbye.